South Africa is battling an avian flu outbreak that has affected several farms in Gauteng and the North West. Poultry farms have been urged to treat any animal deaths as potential avian flu related. We now speak to Dr. Mpomaja, Director of Animal Health at the Department of Agriculture. Good afternoon, Doctor, and thank you so much for joining us. Can you just give us an update then on the extent of the outbreak of this avian flu?
Good afternoon, and good afternoon to the viewers. So far we are standing at 3 farms that have been confirmed to be infected, 2 in Gauteng and 1 in the North West province. The virus that we are dealing with is similar to the one that was circulating in Europe in November, December 2020. And the good news is that in Europe there were no human cases reported associated with this virus, so we anticipate it will behave similar.
So how many chickens have actually been affected by this so far? You've mentioned the quantity of farms, but in terms of actual money lost by these farms?
We haven't tallied the numbers or the value that the farms have lost so far. We will get to that after we have contained and controlled the outbreaks.
You mentioned that the strain is similar to one that was found in Europe some time ago. Have we had the strain in South Africa before?
No, we haven't had it before. In 2016-2017, we had a different highly pathogenic avian influenza virus. That was an H5N8. Currently, we are dealing with an H5N1.
And in terms of precautionary measures that other farmers, other poultry farmers should be taking, what steps would you advise them to take?
Avian influenza is transmitted by wild birds, amongst others. So we are encouraging the producers to improve their biosecurity measures on the farm in order to prevent contact of the birds, poultry, as well as wild birds outside. And there's quite a number of measures that can be applied on the individual farms. And us, together with the South African Poultry Association, we have that information. So farmers should feel free to contact either the departments or the Poultry Association.
Can you mention some of those measures just for the benefit of our viewers on air?
One of them is to close all the outlets where wild birds, these small little birds can come through into your poultry house for free food, because that's one of the reasons wild birds come into your house. If you have curtains on the sides, close the curtains and make sure that any other openings would be closed so that birds don't come in. Rodent control would be one of them. Making sure that your workers shower in before they come into your premises. They wear clean boots, they wear clean clothes, and don't come in possibly with contamination on their clothing.
And in terms of reporting of incidents, if a farmer, for example, that's not in Gauteng or the Northwest where we've had most of the cases, experiences deaths of their chickens, should they report it? And at what point should they fear that it might be avian flu? If it's just one chicken that dies, is it a cause for concern?
The producers fortunately know what we call average mortality rate. So when a producer notices that he's getting more than the average mortality rate, which is the number of chickens that normally die on a day-to-day basis, they should report that to the nearest state vet office. We will come and collect samples and send them to the laboratory for confirmation.
Now, you've mentioned that this avian flu is actually carried or transmitted from, foreign birds. Is there a way that perhaps farmers could put something in the food that they give to their chickens that can help them sort of build immunity to it?
Unfortunately, unlike with most viruses, we don't have the vaccine yet, if that is what the question aims to find out. The vaccines that we have for avian influenza are not registered in the country. But in terms of improving immunity, there's probably a wide range of material that farmers can put in their feed or in the water. I'm not aware of any.
And just lastly, are there any countries perhaps that have put a red flag on chickens being exported from South Africa to them?
The neighboring countries had initially suspended trade with us: Botswana, Namibia, Lesotho, and Eswatini. We've managed to negotiate for trade to resume. Some countries have just banned the affected properties, and Lesotho, for example, has banned the whole of the province, so they are not accepting any products from Gauteng. And Eswatini and Namibia have only banned products from the affected farm.
Do we know how long these bans are expected to last?
We have what we call compartments, so we are still trading from other compartments that are not affected. As you said in the introduction, the farms that are affected, the birds have been destroyed, so it's a matter of cleaning and disinfection before we can repopulate those farms. So it's not going to be any time soon that trade from the affected farms will resume.
Well, thank you so much for joining us this afternoon and for giving us that update. Dr. Mpomaja, who is the Director of Animal Health at the Department of Agriculture, Land Reform and Rural Development, giving us the latest with regards to the spread of avian flu currently affecting farms mainly in the Northwest and Gauteng.